sabotaging to make sure that, you know, we're not going to have something impossible or we're not going to be here literally all night, but this is pretty random. What do you think of these flags, Martin?
You know, I'm looking at them, and I myself, I enjoy a good boss hunt. So when I see the flavors of elements that we're looking for, we all love the betrayer. This is gonna be a good flag. I enjoy this.
Yeah, this should be fun. We've got, you know, Kane is, of course, a great character. Everybody loves Kane, or if you don't, you're wrong. Moderately tricky boss spot, in defeating the Leviathan spot there, and the rest of the flags, let me just pull them up here, because this is gonna need some going over for people, because, oh boy!
Yeah, for anyone that's played any of the Free Enterprise Randomizer, they understand there are a ton of flags that are possible in this. And when they say randomized, it's anything is fair game. So we are looking at things from just what I can spot, starting with Rosa. We have T Wildish. 70% treasure chest, so 30% of all the boxes we're going to find will be empty and we're already looted.
Yeah, the Wildish helps a lot though, because we're also dealing with stuff like Permajoid and S Pro. Shops are free, which is nice, but S Pro is S Pro.
Yeah, S Pro isn't necessarily a bad thing. I like the idea of not having, you know, hey, there's no Hanzo Steel available for free in Baron, you know? It's going to take a little bit of work. So shops will be nice to be able to, hey, just go pick and choose what you like, but you won't get anything completely groundbreaking right out of the gate, which is good.
That's true. And we do have the MP Underflow glitch, which is on tonight, which is very, very nice. Along with things like the life and self. We also have, this is unlikely to come up, but who knows, we do have 64 floor glitch on. And
I don't even have words for this. I thought agility was black magic. 64 floor glitch, that's a whole different ball of, you're right, we'll probably never see it, but it could happen.
I mean, it has been done. It's just, I mean, it's a flag because it's been done. Because it didn't used to be before that. Some other fun things. We've got Vanilla Fusoya, so if he's in the pool, and I believe it's vanilla characters, so he'll be in the pool. He'll just come right out of the box, perfectly ready to go.
Yeah, which is a big change. The default setting for Fu is you have a small spattering of spells, and every boss you kill, you unlock a few more, versus, hey, here's Vanilla Fu ready to go at your fingertips. So, depending on when he's found, if he's found, this could go very quickly.
Yeah, like, that could be very, very nice. We do, looks like it is 4 objectives, that are needed to be done. So, 4 out of those 5, which, that will also ease some of the pain of having to track down some of those bosses.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Key items are just K-Main, K-Sub, and K-Moon, which, if you've watched any of these races before, you're pretty used to seeing that distribution. The pass is in a shop, though, which is gonna be fun and convenient.
I would say a free pass. I mean, it will add a little bit of time now that, yes, I mean, with free items, of course, you're going to go into shops and take a peek and see what's there. But, you know, having access to a pass in a shop as well, you may see people go a little out of the way for certain shops, possibly maybe the ones they don't normally visit, like possibly like Kaipo.
Yeah,
like if you wouldn't normally see in a run.
Yeah, if you don't find it naturally, people might go out of their way. We also have one of my favorite flags on, which is Be Unsafe, which removes all those wonderful little safety checks that keep things like Golbez from blocking your only underground access.
Yeah, gotta have a little bit of flavor in there. You know, can't make it too easy for our racers tonight.
Yeah, and let's take a look here. Okay, yeah, we've got the Permajoid, which once a character's in the party, they are in the party. So
yeah, the nice part is obviously dismissal is still off. So you know, if they do choose a character, or if they don't choose a character, they just take a little side trip to Mysidia and they sit there and wait patiently in hopes that maybe you come pick them up later.
Yeah, that'll help ease the pain. Vanilla Trap Chest is kind of nice too, if you know where those are. With the T Wildish, that's actually pretty good. Like, if somebody's managed to memorize, say, where all the Sylph Trap Chests are, there's gonna be some good loot to be had down there.
Right, and the one that came immediately to my mind was Eblin Castle. Knowing where those 3 trap chests are in there are some very good items to find in there if you can fade those 3. So definitely some possibilities very early on. So I would not be surprised to, even with, I believe we have 12 racers tonight, I would not be surprised to see at least 8 or 9 of them all go different directions right out of the gate.
Yeah, we've got a lot open, and it looks like we have, just due to technical issues, Jeebus has had to drop from the race, which is very unfortunate. Hopefully he'll be back next week, so we are getting Tybalt on screen for us all. Yeah, so this should be a... We're in for a spicy ride here today, I think.
I would say so. With the flags and everything, and the racers, and it's... This will be an event. It lives up to the Slapdash name.
Very much so. Like, you know, the thing about a community race is you get weird flags in there a lot of the time, but it's tailored. Somebody has sat down and thought about what kind of experience this will make for us all.
Right.
No.
Well, and the nice part is too, I mean, these, looking at the group of racers, these are some of the better / best racers, the game has to offer. So being able to adapt to these flags and sit there and be like, okay, this isn't a normal Fabul Gauntlet flag set. This isn't a 3-miss zone flag set. This is throw things at the wall and see what sticks, and you have to make it work somehow.
These are some top class runners just letting their hair down, and this is gonna be wild.
Yeah.
So it looks like we are getting started right now. Should see our runners taking off right away. And just before we start, thank you, Pepita, for that sub to Free Enterprise.
And it looks like we're off and running. We knew we had Rosa for a start. And we get the other white mage.
Oh, goody. And I don't think either of these runners are going to take her. We do have a blue robe here, so this could be very good or very bad when we finally get the Baron. And I don't think that was a key item.
No, it looked like a crystal shield to me.
Can't even sell that on this flag set.
Well, you could sell it. It won't do you any good, but you could.
It's true.
We may be seeing the trash can getting a little bit of work in this seed for inventory-related reasons.
Yeah, it's... Whew.
So an already deviation between the two runners. Highball taking a little break in Baron, and Poydrak going straight for Eblin Castle.
Yeah, like you said, that knowing where those chests are in vanilla.
Right, and with the T Wildish, the treasure chests in Eblin Castle are some of the best that you're going to find, as shown by the fact that, hey, here's a white spear just lying around for no good reason.
Yeah, and we know for a fact that we are going to be getting a Kane at some point, because he's one of our goals.
Didn't look like anything of value really in Baron.
No, we saw the evil wall in the opening spot, which is a nice place for that boss to be. Guarding a Rydia, who... There's nothing wrong with Rydia. Ooh, mute arrows there.
Yep.
And mist.
Yep, mute arrows and Medusa arrows as well, which they do... Don't ever discount Medusa arrows. They do have limited uses, but, you know, a 10-pack of those can take care of some bosses in some interesting spots if need be.
They do come in handy. And karate robes too. We get a decent bow for that Rosa, and we'll be off to the races here.
Yeah. Chad is mentioning a dwarf axe found in Mist. Dwarf axes, very, very important for agility-related reasons. Also, the only item that can back row glitch Kane.
Yeah, so that is a fantastic find right there. A Lilith Rod in the Watery Pass. Excellent there. The Strength Ring, which is another good find. Ooh, a Heroine Robe.
Always a wonderful find, especially with this current party composition. That Heroine Robe can turn Rosa into a very nasty pew-pewer if it needs to be. So you're beginning to see the how T Wildish plays out with the quality of treasure chests we're seeing literally 3 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, and those vanilla trap chests, that really pays off here. Oh, and there's our other blue robe with the vanilla yang. That'll help us to identify what that Baron blue robe is.
And we have the gauntlet sitting on top of Hobbs.
Like, I don't hate this. I mean, it, you know, decent XP, I guess, but...
It's definitely not bad. Obviously, taking the Yang will help a little bit as well. Definitely having like a little bit of physical firepower in the team, even though for a lot of runners, Yang is more of a slingshot target, I would say, more than anything. So taking actually running Yang early, because we are on the, hey, once your party's full, Yang's here to stay. So
yeah, but I don't mind that choice. Even if you're not slingshotting him, bringing him early means, you know, that you are having to, you know, that he's going to be getting those levels that he needs to come online naturally.
Right.
And this is a vanilla gauntlet, so it's not that bad to deal with.
And to your point as well, because Yang is so heavily dependent on levels, you know, obviously the higher he goes, the stronger he's going to get. But don't discount the fact they call him the Punch Mage for a reason. And that has to do with his selection of weaponry that you can find.
Yeah, and we have found those Thunderclaws already in egg art that Poydrak found, which is... Those are incredibly valuable. The other elemental claws are also good, but the Thunderclaws... There's a number of bosses with really strong thunder weaknesses, which are very easily exploited by Yang.
I was saying, speaking of thunder weaknesses, you see Poydrak pick up a quick little 15 stack of Thor Rages.
Yeah, very nice. And as Alchemy Instant Chat says, he's again a very good choice considering the Kainatsu and Rubicant goals, because those both have the elemental weaknesses.
Right. And that also ties into Poydrak. Probably buying that 15 stack of Thor Rages is, depending on where you find a Kainazo, example on the, Sealed Cave Bridge, that speed and being able to get those lightning ones off to keep it from waving you, those can be very handy in the right spot.
Yeah, or any high hit point spot for them where you need to prevent those waves or die.
Yeah, right, like the element spot in the Giant of Babel. Nobody wants to be hit with that wave at all, ever.
And Poydrak remembers we've got a free key item in this, but it's this the Zeus Gauntlet.
Still a nice item. Not a key item, but still a very nice item. Especially if when Tybalt goes there, to put that on your Yang is an automatic boost in firepower for him, so.
Yeah, hard to complain about his Zeus Gauntlet. Would have been nice to get a key item, because it's free, but a free Zeus Gauntlet is nothing to shake a stick at.
No, not at all.
We're gonna get our first combat key item check from Tybalt here. Well, Poydrak finds those karates and those mute arrows. With Bahamut and Antline, nice place for that boss. Very easy to deal with here.
Yeah, not a lot of HP here, and of course you got that 5-tick timer. Probably won't see it go past 3.
No. With Rosa doing a little over 200 each, and the supplements from Yang, down it goes, right after 4.
And I noticed on Poydrak's side, looks like the item shop in, I believe it is Kaipo, had life potions for sale. So always a useful little item to have.
Very handy there. And just a tower key out of that antline. Good to have, not gonna help us anything yet.
Not yet, but do people really like doing Keyless Tower? I don't like doing Keyless. I hate doing the same thing twice or 3 times. Especially,
but like, it's such a hike. Like that tower, it's so long. It's so long.
Looks like Tadpole. Oh, hello. And who says checking the waterfall doesn't pay off?
Oh, very important find here. That's one of our targets.
So, we won't be seeing any cute little tricks with a glitch in the element fight here. This will just be a straight out. We're just going to punch and shoot it into oblivion.
Yeah, the magic in this spot is so low. But the people got what they wanted, and they saw a little bit of leg.
Absolutely. And Poydrak skips out on Yang for time being.
Yeah, but he does want the option open, because he is taking the fight. And this is a good show of just what an extremely powerful character Rosa is. Like, even with near basic kit, like.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed before Poydrak came into this fight, he did put the glass helmet on Rosa. So Rosa in the back row with the glass helmet is going to be taking pretty much no damage from any physical attack for the time being. So.
Yeah, like, it's easy to be down on the glass helmet because it's got no magic defense and it doesn't have any stats on it, but when what you need, especially early, is straight physical defense, it'll get the job done.
Absolutely.
And there's another white spear just past the elements fight there.
It looks like that was about it after the waterfall, though. Just a strength ring and a diamond ring afterwards.
Still not bad finds at all. We're going to Fabulin.
And I believe this is Poydrak's last fight of the gauntlet, so he should be out of here shortly. Looks like a couple of headbands purchased for Tybalt. Headbands? Interesting item. You wouldn't expect to see a headband put on Rosa, but with Rosa basically shooting arrows, yeah, you know, a little bit of extra strength. You take damage wherever you can find it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, as chat points out, 99 star. Isn't life wonderful when everything is free?
Yeah, I apologize for complaining about the S Pro. And a very easy little fight here. Those mute arrows coming in extremely handy. Silencing those bosses.
Yeah, these guards are not long for this world.
They don't look it, but they are indeed mages, and they can't counter, and they just get crushed by that damage. Rosa's so good. I love Rosa. The king provides an X-Scowl.
It's not a bad sword.
Oh, it's
not
very
horrible.
good. Yeah, and I mean, we do not have vanilla agility on, so if we do see a Cecil, there's a very compelling reason to take it.
Absolutely. And even if not, hey, you can throw it.
Yeah, that's a very good throw. Meanwhile, solo Rosa against the dragon on Poydrak's side, and
looks like Tybalt's checking out the Silvaro shops. Ice arrows, always a good pickup.
yeah, we do have that Kainatsu, and he does spend a lot of the time weak to ice rather than lightning, so that is extremely good.
Right. And we've run into our first inventory problem of the seed. Only a matter of time before that was gonna happen.
It's true.
Unfortunately, when everything's free, let's face it, you just can't help yourself. It's like, oh yeah, I could use these, and these, and these. The game has different designs on it, though.
Yeah, and we're potentially in for something tricky here, because, well, we're gonna get through this evil wall on Poidrak's side very quickly. The next spot is kind of beefy hit point-wise, and Rosa only has, still 227 hit points.
Right. Kind of hoping for like a physical-only type boss maybe in the next spot.
Yeah.
Maybe an octopus, and, well...
This is fine, I think. I think this spot, she doesn't get the extreme, physical evasion, at least. Or the magic defense, yeah.
Right. Yeah,
if you see Valvalis in the first spot there, that's actually the bad one. Still, the weaks are going to be in trouble with only one character here.
So hopefully, I would say hopefully Val only punches for 1 damage in that spot, but nope, not the case. Even with a glass helmet, that goes right through that. So it looks like we'll be coming back to that one a bit later.
Yeah, that's very doable, but...
Yeah, and on tie ball screen, we have the not quite so painful man.
Yeah, he strolled out from his cave, getting some air, getting some stretches.
So yeah, 3 dark waves, sit back, relax, talks a little bit, and vanishes into the distance.
And it's Bigan. Nobody likes Bigan.
No.
That firebomb helps quite a bit.
Now, he will regenerate those arms here shortly, but in the meantime, though, with a Berserk Rosa, the damage is going to be coming in.
Yeah, I think good here.
Yeah.
And of course, Poidrak with his Murder Rosa.
Unfortunately, the Grimoire use looks like it was the almost but not quite Odin this time around.
Rip.
And Poidrak picks up his Excalibur. And Tybalt should be done here shortly. And there we go. Get a little bit of bonus experience for killing multiple arms.
Good old-fashioned Bigan grind.
Let me get our first look at ordeals and see what the item waiting for us is.
It's a hook. And Poidrak does go take that Yang.
Probably a good plan. And it looks like nothing more than a pale dim as our ordeals mirror fight. Nothing too horrible there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So, hook route.
should be interesting given our character pool. We do obviously have another check coming, but, well.
Yeah, and it is a gated character check, so we do have possibilities of a pair of individuals that we might see there.
Yeah, like, either one would be very nice to have.
Absolutely. It looks like Porterak is right on Tybalt's heels. So we'll wave hello on the bridge as they cross paths.
Yeah, and he just sits there, learning about justice. I mean, it's not the only right in this world. It's also the left.
See, now you're just complicating things. Question from chat, talking about Edward in the cave. No, gated characters, Edge and Fu, because of well, let's not short it, with how powerful those two are. Those characters tend to be gated behind certain items.
Yeah, the C standard flag means that Edge and Fu cannot show up at any free spot, which aren't in the pool anyway right now. They can't also show up at Mount Hobbs or the Baron Inn.
Now, personally, I don't have a problem with Edward, though. Edward has his uses.
He's a good boy.
You can count him on one finger, maybe, but Ed has his uses.
He's a good boy. Don't be mean to Eddie.
Ed can solo Z, okay? I will be the first person to tell you that, yes, it does work.
He's a good boy. And, I mean, if you get him up to level 63 or so, he can take an unnerved Big Bang.
This sounds like effort to me.
Leveling
Ed to 63, how long does that take?
Slingshot at about equivalent to 10, I think.
I was gonna say, right, yeah, are we ranking everything now? How many D machines does it take to get to?
I mean, it takes a fair few, but then you've got an Eddie you can take it under Big Bang.
Absolutely.
Now let's see these gated show-ups here. Oh.
Wow, Odin and a carrot. I got nothing.
Ooh, Aegis shields. I like those a lot, and the mute knives are nice.
Very good item I have. Not surprised he bought one. So, yeah, you might want to go back for that outfit.
Yeah, let's not leave that there.
It's a nice quality of life improvement to be able to use R1 to, put something back in a treasure chest you don't want. But it also kind of causes the mindset of, oh wait, I got to go back and grab that. Oh, I have to do it twice.
Yeah, I need to remember to use the R1. And thank you to the wonderful Scala Kitty for re-upping that subscription.
Yeah, as well as Old Man Vex. I saw that earlier. Thank you as well.
Oh, and that's Palom.
That is a quack kid. Taking a nap.
I mean, it's not Fu, it's not Edge, but nobody complains about having a Palom on hand.
Nope, not at all. So, and Psychonaut, thank you for resubbing as well, sir.
Getting that hype train going.
Yeah. Not surprising to see Tybalt take the Quack Kid immediately.
Yeah.
So.
That's a no-brainer for pretty much everybody.
Yep. Yep, not quite so good right now, but you give them a level or two, you get your level 2 spells online. Does a little bit of damage, you get them a 19, there's your virus, you get them in 23, there's your quack, and the world is your oyster.
Yep, and with the vanilla treasure chests, we're probably going to see us going for the Mad Ogres.
I would say, especially with an elven bow and mute arrows, yeah,
Passes them by.
That's right, they are vanilla chests. So yes, the one on the island was the one that held the ogres. Interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to be going into the King Queen Eblan fight with base level Palom. We'll see how that goes, because depending on the boss, that can be a rough fight.
Yeah.
And of course, this is beyond safe also, so that Moon Sparkle could be a wyvern.
It could be. Looks like we get Yang at the King Queen Evelyn spot. Unfortunately, we don't have a Cecil to kind of, make this fight a little bit easier.
And this is, of course, one of those magic-oriented spots, so it hits pretty hard.
Yes, it does. Let's see what Tybalt decides to do in the meantime. While we're waiting, thank you for all the resubs, everybody. Xeno, Wildfire, Keladorn, Mara, Warlink. So many of you. Thank you for supporting the channel and the free enterprise community and what we do here.
Yeah. Thank you all. We love you all.
So I saw Tybalt use an illusion at the beginning of this fight. Unfortunately for Tybalt, illusion does not stop kick. And as we learned the hard way, those kicks still hurt at that spot. So yeah, we may want to go explore different avenues now at this point. It's funny how we usually take Yang for granted because it's like, oh, Cecil, all right. You wait out 2 punches, 2 kicks, take a swing at him. He cries uncle and falls down, and yeah, that's it. Without a Cecil, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, now we are going back to those Mad Ogres.
More levels, more HP, never a bad thing. And see the power of that Elven Bow and Mute Arrows, basically one-shotting ogres now.
Yeah, very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And as expected, Poydrak takes that Pelham.
Yep. So yeah, while the runners may have diverged at the beginning, went their own separate ways and everything, they're pretty much at the exact same spot at the exact same time now. We'll see if Poydrak decides to skip the Mad Ogre chest as well, or...
Yeah, I suspect he's gonna go for it, but that's just a guess.
It may be one of those. I would say it might be one of those where it's like, all right, let me go take a look at the boss, maybe see if it's feasible, and then if not...
Yeah, and it looks like you're right here. And thanks for that cheer, Marikaze.
It looks like Tybalt's going to be done with this fight shortly. Question is now, I would say, does he try and get up the Quack Kid? Because the whole point of this fight probably is to get the Quack Kid online, so...
Yeah.
We may be seeing some life potion spammage here until...
And wow, thank you, Bad Karma, for the 5 gift subs to everybody.
Yes, thank you, Bad Karma. We appreciate it greatly. Not a bad idea to use the Silk Web here. Slow down the ogre a little bit. Maybe give you a little more time. Get the kid up, see if it sticks.
Come on, just hit Rosa. Oh no, yeah, just hit Rosa. Ooh, come on.
I think for all of us that have ever played Free Enterprise, we've all run into this problem before. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I need these characters to get the... would you quit targeting? And then usually we yell out Boardface's name and we curse him, and yeah, we know how this goes. Oh, no. Oh, poor Tybalt. That close.
Oh no.
It got a parting shot on the Quack Kid.
No. Oh my
What?
goodness.
But, you know, for that item, maybe I'll get over it. For an
Yeah.
Avenger, I think I'm alright with that.
Yeah, again, we know we're getting Cade. Oh, the Stardust Rod. Meanwhile, Point
Okay.
Rex decided to go back and deal with the Baron Anna.
I say with that Stardust Rod, I feel like Tybalt probably has a little regret now about not keeping the Quack Kid alive.
Yeah, like this feels like a spot, like a moment where you actually just turn encounters on briefly and just take a couple, try and get him at least something.
Yeah. And Nemo, thank you for that gift sub. We appreciate it greatly.
Yeah, Tybalt goes to take another crack at that Yang. Oh, the self-berserk on Rosa. Very nice.
I mean, with the amount of damage she puts out,
Now,
yeah, absolutely, give it a run, see what happens.
yeah, this isn't a very high hit point spot.
No, 6,000 HP isn't terrible. It takes a little while, but
And that Val only had a crystal ring, but a crystal ring is a nice find, honestly.
and sends Rydia on her way to Mysidia.
Yeah, that feels like the choice to be made there, given we know there's a Pelham.
Yeah. There we go, and Tybalt's through the fight.
And I assume we're gonna see it run back and save after that.
I was gonna say that would be a bold move to sit there and talk to that Sparkle right away.
Yeah.
With who is still possibly in that pool? No.
Yeah, again, just a reminder, there's nothing preventing it from being a Wyvern. There's our King and Queen Evelyn.
Hey.
Looks like we're just gonna take that fight there, squeeze out a little more X. No, we're not. Oh, it's just Plague, nobody cares.
No, they're not terrible. Yeah, it's a lot of HP at this spot, but
We've got unlimited Starveils. The fact is, it would actually be really easy to properly cheese it at this point.
Yeah, the mechanics of the timer and how to bypass it, this shouldn't be a problem. As you notice, immediately punching the Quack Kid and putting him down, there is a reason why.
Yeah, like, it's trivial to AI lock him. Rose is doing a ton of damage. So we just do that, and not even needing to worry about shenanigans like dealing with getting him to insta himself with his own count.
Yeah, that Elven Bow putting in some serious work with it. Elven Bow does not like flying enemies very well, so the damage scales appropriately and does some very fun things. And once again, Quack Kid just can't catch a break. Whether it's Mad Ogres or Gang, Quack Kid just goes down.
He's a sleepy boy. Ooh, tight timing on this. Hopefully the next count goes off. Yes, we're good.
There you go. Oh, and zero data.
Just giving away the subs here like crazy. Thank you so much, Zero Data Zero.
Gambit points out Tybalt's out of life potions. That's right. Tybalt never went to Kaipo and saw the life potions for sale there. So this could be... I feel like with the amount of damage Rose is putting out, though, I think we'll be alright, but this could get close.
Yeah, we are a bit tricky here.
There we go.
Oh, looks like Poidrak might have reset out of clearing that elements fight. And Tybalt is through with, honestly, a very clean showing on that fight. Like, the only hiccup is running out of lives, but didn't stop him at all.
No, not at all. So now we have access to the underground. We'll probably make a quick little right turn here. Possibly see who's at the top of the tower for us.
Calcabrina, which,
just some dolls.
Yeah, trivial fight there. The only thing is, because it's got a lot of hit points, probably gonna want to wait until we have some kind of hourglass on hand.
Yep. Although, we get this Quack Kid online.
That'll do it too, yeah.
Quack and a Stardust Rod? That might be enough firepower to take them out.
I think so. Looks like Poidrak is also going for the Eblin Mad Ogres, which... a similarly good idea if you remember how to get through the door. And yeah, looks like Tybalt is just going straight back in. Makes sense with that tower key on hand.
Question from chat. Golbez spot was a sparkle? Yes. Yes, it was.
The Rubicant spot was a sparkle. We haven't seen the Golbez spot yet. We see the Golbez spot.
I'm thinking, yeah, tower.
Yeah.
Yes. No, you're correct.
Wrong tower.
Yeah.
And thanks for the Prime sub, SSJ Xenogears, and oh, you've got the Mega Sisters in a very nice spot for them here. More gift subs from Heretic Trance. Thank you. Ooh, and that's a Bahamut summon.
Now that makes that Rydia a little more enticing.
Especially with that underflow glitch on.
Hmm.
Like, we can get that going right away. It's possible to glitch with, like, sight.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt to do it, but you can do it. Yeah, he's beelining for that Rydia.
I was saying, for those that don't understand, do you want to explain how the underflow glitch works?
Sure. The way the underflow glitch is, when you are out of combat, you want to arrange your spells so that you've got 2 spells castable out of combat. One that you can cast, and one that you can't. That you don't have enough MP for. Just position them right up next to each other. And basically, if you move your cursor just at the right time, the game will think you'll have the game thinking that you'll go into the menu for the spell that you couldn't cast. That you don't have the MP for. It'll just pull it up and it'll start deducting the cost from it. And it's very nice. The traditional way to do it is with something like a Cure 4, which will it has 40 MP, so you can easily deduct so that you're lacking that cost. But it is taking advantage of how it pulls up the menu for it. Like, it'll pull up the character menu.
Right.
This is not a good verbal explanation, but
I understood it, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, like you move it right, and
basically you're just preying on the fact that the game sometimes needs to catch up to your inputs, and you're using that to your advantage.
Yeah, you're moving it faster than it can.
There you go. So, great shot, by the way. Cure 3s and vampires out here in the march.
Yeah, very nice find there.
Yes. So, and Tybalt did pick up a Sand Ruby, courtesy of the bridge collapsing at Lower Babel. So, we now have access to that character.
Nice find there. I don't remember if Poidrak showed us who it was. Ooh, yeah, I don't like that antlion there.
I missed it. Who is it, Leviathan?
That was an antlion at Leviathan.
Oh, that's all sorts of joy.
Yeah, and the Dark Elf at Asura, which...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at that number 5 objective thinking, I may go a different route before I come back to that one.
Yeah, that actually makes the boss hunts look appealing.
Yeah. Yeah, for those that don't know, Leviathan is one of the hardest hitting physical spots in the game.
Yeah,
Antlion does not do a lot more than basically taking bites out of you. They hurt a lot.
Yeah, that spot is tied with Bahamut and Wyvern for highest physical attack, and Antlion does only physical attacks and the counters, which nah.
Yeah. So doable with Blink? Yeah, it's doable with Blink. It's a lot of it is 30,000+ HP to get through though, so it's not going to be a short fight.
And Tybalt is, of course, the people's hero today, showing us the job dwarf, who is today a mechanical engineer. Looks like Poidrak is taking some time out to get Rosa the levels to probably more easily underflow her.
So Tybalt picking up the Sand Ruby serves two purposes. One, the character. Two, hopefully he checks the item shop and sees the life potions that he so wonderfully wants. Oh!
That's Edward.
Say, look who's in bed. Oh. It's that guy. Let's say, Bard asleep in bed. Wait a minute. No, I thought that was Toroya. I thought he was in bed there. Wait a minute.
Yeah. And of course, too, there is one other reason why you would want that Rydia to have naturally enough for to cast Bahamut, because that Rubicant spot, which Poidrek hasn't seen which boss it is yet, just that it's a sparkle. Because you get a full heal at the front, that breaks the underflow, so you're just going in with natural MP.
Right. I was going to say, I figured Poidrek would do this with the ability of underflowing. Oh no.
He hasn't used the Bahamut.
Yeah, it's one thing to find the summon. It's another one to go in your inventory and be like, oh wait, I need to do this.
Amazing.
No, I've never done that before. No, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, never. No.
Let's try that again.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I was going to say, no, one of the benefits, obviously, of underflowing, because obviously Bahamut, you can do some of these fights. They're, like multiple target fights, and basically you're just bring out the dragon and just let them fire. So even on things that tend to be highly resistant on magic, like the Mad Ogres, Bahamut will usually pierce and end up still one-shotting them.
Yeah, like Bahamut, it will even crack through the magic defense at the Twin Harp spot, which is the highest in the game, and basically you need a nuke or a meteor or a Bahamut to get any damage through there.
No, wait, no, that's not how it's supposed to work, game. No, having two summons doesn't make it twice as strong. It doesn't work that way.
Really? But I want it to.
I know. Just imagine, what if you could use two sylphs and you'd get twice the amount of annoying sylph sounds? Oh, it'd be wonderful.
Everybody would be so happy.
Yeah. And what do we have? Hey!
Time to play some pinball.
CPU, otherwise known as... you could XP grind it if you want to. It hurts a little when you do it, but...
Nobody wants to grind CPU for XP.
Nothing wrong with a little extra orb in your life.
Like, everybody loves the orb, it's true. But that's why we love the orb. We don't want to grind the orb. I mean, maybe you want to grind the orb, but...
I have a bad history with orbs and a different game that we won't talk about. In the meantime, I did see a crystal sword on Poidrak's side.
Shame we don't have a Cecil.
No, also shame you can't throw that one either. So, in inventory, it shall sit for a little while.
Of course, what I wonder now, now that we've got the Rydia that's up and online, I wonder if Poidrak takes that Pelham.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you have the ogres, obviously, in the trap chest leading up to the fights. So you have the ability of getting, let's see, that amount of XP. You probably could get Virus on the
Yeah,
kid immediately, which, I mean, I'm not going to turn down damage.
Yeah, Quake is doable, but you have to, like, get multi-hits off life glitches. But Virus is guaranteed off that. I mean, I figure he probably takes them, but there's a chance he doesn't.
Question from the chat. You can't throw a crystal sword. No. I blame that specifically on a coding error in the game. I feel like you should have been able to throw the crystal sword. Much like Elixir should sell for more than 1 GP. You know, just little things they missed during the game. That's fine.
Of course, what's interesting is so close to the character pickup, he's taking the chest.
Oh, the Staleman fight? Yeah. Yeah. It's not great XP. It's only 4,200 here, so I mean, it's still useful.
Yeah.
But it's not, you know, the 8-2, depending if you glitch the ogres, it could be more than that. Oh, yeah. Leaving the Drain Spear behind.
Wow.
We call that inventory maintenance, folks. Better than going in your inventory and throwing it away.
I will not take the Drain Spear slander.
They're highly useful. Maybe he's looking for good loot. Don't short a Drain Spear with an edge. They are beyond useful.
Yeah, like it's actually got a pretty high attack power, so even if the rest of it sucks, it's actually kind of handy.
Yeah, when you throw things, they don't care about accuracy. Well, okay, they do, but they don't when it comes to the damage roll. They don't care about accuracy.
Yeah, and yeah, that was a note of that Pala, which I figured would come up just because, you know, like we've seen him sinking that XP into that Rydia, and we have 2 slots open, and he's got a lot of gear for a Kane and a Cecil.
True. One thing, though, chat brought up earlier, though, the reason why Tybalt actually got through that fight pretty painlessly was the fact that he did have a base level Quack Kid. So the agility manipulation that came in play there pretty much meant Rosa was more or less going at full speed.
Yeah, so that was quite hit.
Yeah, so if Poidrak can't get through this fight, maybe we see him exit, go grab a base level Palom, come back and do the same style idea with it.
Yeah, that's very possible. I think, however, did he pass the Avenger?
I did not see whether he took it or not. I will say he will regret skipping that chest, though, that had the Stardust rod in it, though.
Yeah.
No, you were supposed to open the one on the last floor.
And yeah, nobody's sure if he took the Avenger or not. We'll have to... Okay, he's in the items. We're not.
Oh, not far enough down, though.
And that's a rat tail out of Dwarf Castle.
Yep. Have the hook, so it is a check. So that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, and I think with these hit points and that and that Bahamut play.
And a cursed ring for sale. Hello.
Excellent.
I guess I can't even call it for sale if it's free, right? They're just handing them out like candy. So yes, and Tybalt did take that Sid, so his party's beginning to round out.
Yeah, got that anchor there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going back up the tower to deal with those dolls. Oh yeah, we're in much better shape to deal with this karate now.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Don't want to curse him, but...
Yeah, is Bahamut gonna do enough here? Oh, just shy.
There
but the
we
punch
go.
finishes it.
No big deal. There's no XP here anyway.
Yeah, 6,000 HP. We'll just leave it a little short. We're good. We're good. We're fine.
It's all good.
Quickly run back and save. In the meantime, we get to see dolls bouncing around on Tybalt's side.
Good times for everyone. And it's even with the correct music for him.
And the rare time you'll actually see Yang kick something. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
Yep, and there's that quack via the Stardust Rod, and yeah, they didn't last very long. That one looks like it hurt a bit.
And that's an Hourglass 1.
And actually deciding to walk it out. I'm surprised.
I think, with that, with that being, with the S Pro, I think you want to keep that Hourglass.
I could see it being useful for something in the future that may require it.
Yeah, I mean, we still have Dark Imps to find that can be Hourglassed.
So it looks like Poidrax restructuring this party here for this.
Yeah, you gotta be... This is a fight of agility wrangling.
Right. Looks like Tybalt's headed down into Sylph Cave. Go say hi to our punch mage pretending he's dead in bed.
Yeah, turning around to go deal with that, that rat tail.
Yep. I'll say, might as well do, if you're going to do Sheila 1, Rat Tail is right on its way, so.
Yeah, so what I would probably do here is drop that hovercraft off, go do Sheila 1, and then do the antlion, or not the antlion, the rat tail check.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's always a chance that she gives you the other tail too, and
yeah,
this is no adamants on, but it's always nice.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, turn away a tier 7 item. Yeah, you have to come back here twice now, but
Yeah, that's a Baron Key, and we know there's a water hag in there.
Yep.
And yeah, it looks like Poidrax got his rhythm down much better.
Question from chat: who was the Sand Ruby character? Yep, it was Ed.
Everybody's
it was Ed.
favorite boy.
Yep,
Our
all his
special
glory.
Nobody who appreciates just how strong and powerful and cool Edward is.
And what do we get from Sheila today? We get a wow.
Vanilla pan.
Wow. So yeah, about doing things twice or 3 times. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna know football pretty well today by the time we're done.
It's true. There's a lot of Faboo in here.
Yeah. Looks like Poitras got a pretty good rotation going on defeating Plague's count, so this fight should be pretty short-lived now.
Yeah, the trick here is the Rosa carry. Eddie's through.
Speak of the devil, there it is. Alright, now we gotta go take another swing at Yang. Well, Yang is not having a good day today.
No, he just keeps getting people hitting him.
Yeah.
There's the pigtail.
Well. So I swear, I feel like I just said this. Something about, hey, we're going to Fabul, we'll stop it and turn in a tail. I swear I just said this. Look, we're doing it again.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to stop in? Yes, we are.
Of course we are. It's a pink tail. Of course we are.
I mean, it's not an adamant. We might not, but we are.
Hey, there's Hanzo.
So we're not finding it this scene.
I was gonna say, there's still possibility for Edge. It could happen.
It could happen, but it's not going to.
It'll probably happen when both racers have 5 characters in their party, and then they'll find the Edge.
He'll be on the giant. Oh, and an Earth Crystal!
Hey, Party Rock. I was gonna say, and even 70% treasure chest, there's still gonna be a good amount of treasure sitting there in Troya for us to possibly grab.
And we need the character checks too, because we want that gain. And there's 2 bosses up there too, which is again with the boss checks.
Well, and also like you said earlier, it's like this is 4 objectives to get the crystal. I personally would love to fade number 5.
Yeah, we do not want to have to fight identified.
So yeah, if number 4 is currently sitting on top of Zot, I am just fine with that.
Yeah.
So it looks like Poidrak is doing the jumping dolls. They haven't met a dragon yet they liked, and they won't today.
Yeah, I thought you dolls thought you didn't like the Quake? Well, you're the dragon.
Yeah, you're not gonna like this a little bit less.
And here we go. We're going in. Oh, Stardust Rod. Rune Ring. Zeus Gauntlet. Lunar Staff Ribbon. Oh, Dragoon Gauntlet. Artemis Arrows, that's pretty good.
That is not a bad treasury. Yes, everything is free in the game. That still was not terrible.
Yeah, no, that's not bad. That's a solid. I'm gonna call that a 7.
I was gonna say 7, 8, right in that 7.5-ish range.
Yeah, like it's There's nothing in there that's gonna knock your socks off. Like, that Stardust Rod would have been great if he hadn't already found one, but...
Or Cursed Ring if it wasn't free in the shop.
But, still very nice finds overall. Very nice. Oh, dog. I don't know if you can hear that. There's a cat.
I'm pretty sure I heard a cat. I was going to joke about the cat meowing, thinking, oh, maybe the cat's hungry. Just show the cat the picture of the cookie hand with the Greek salad in it.
No.
I was saying, I guarantee you the cat won't be hungry after that.
I am not torturing my cat.
Okay.
Like, you know, the animal rescue people would come to take her away if I did.
I was going to say, is that form cruel and unusual punishment?
Yes. I would be violating the Geneva Convention if I showed her that picture. And Poydrak just clearing out Babil while Tybalt prepares to go into the first fight on Zot. And our lovely tracker gets stopped from tormenting us all by our wonderful blink prevention in the chat.
Just a Leviathan at spot 1.
Leviathan.
Terrible. Poydrak running away from the crumbling bridge, rewarded with probably an item that he's gonna see and be like, oh, it's Ed.
Yeah, that is not the case.
And Leviathan goes down. Let's take a look here. Now, we haven't seen Wyvern yet, though.
We have not.
So yes, Tybalt, go back and save. Please go back and save. And yes, a pass. I saw matter of fact, did Tybalt ever check the item shop in Dwarf Castle?
I don't know if he did.
I know he checked the armor because he got the cursed ring. Interesting. That could actually come in play. So
it's our favorite boy.
Hey, the betrayer himself. And who's under the cannonball tonight? Oh, well.
Someone's feeling bad about only having one slot left.
I was gonna say. Uh-oh.
Oh my god, he named Cain Daphus.
I mean...
And Cain was vanilla.
You know.
The vanilla Cain was named Daphus.
Tybalt is a man of the people. He understands how it's going to go. Oh, and look at this.
Oh, this is required no matter what.
Wow. Zot paying off today.
Look at that fine leg. Whew. Strong, well-muscled.
So, this brings up an interesting question now at this point. We know who's sitting at the Leviathan spot. Do we go find Kainazo, or do we just say, we're going to make this fight, we're going to figure this fight out and go do it? So the one thing Poydrak has going is that he bought the pass. Tybalt, I don't believe, did the item shop in Dwarf Castle.
It's true. Given the levels at play, I would not be trying my hand at that outlier yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a magma key. A vanilla magma key. Of course it is. So I think at the very least I'd run through that Baron Castle.
Yeah, we still don't have access to the moon. So...
yeah,
we are looking for darkness. Maybe we find Knazo sitting at the throne.
Yeah, and yeah, we don't have the levels, I think, at least, to make that antlion worth fighting yet.
In the meantime, Poidrak's playing with orbs. Otherwise known as patiently biding his time for when he calls out the dragon.
Yep. Alchemy saying she's surprised that Tybalt didn't take Kane, considering the Kane equipment. I think what he's holding out for is either a Fu or a Tella, just because, again, we don't have a level solution yet.
Yeah, and to that point, that also brings up that there are, not to say Leviathan and Antlion is going to be our way to finishing the game. It might not. Keeping that last spot open, maybe we take an Ed. Maybe we do Eddie strats. Maybe we do Zilch and 1200 HP strats. There's still decisions to be made depending on these last few fights and where these racers are going to go at this point. So.
And the King of Baron is the King of Baron.
The King of Baron decided the basement a little bit confining. Had to come up.
So we have the Vanilla King named Athos. Then we got the Vanilla Magma Key. Now we get the Vanilla Baron King.
It's a great scene. I love it.
And Tybalt is through on that. And who's... oh, there's our fool.
Oh, boy.
Watch him take that fool.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we took that
Yeah,
fool.
I was going to say, how fast can I mash the yes, give me button? Alright, Tybalt on his way down to visit Baron's trash can. Poidrak? Where's Poidrak heading?
Cash in that rat tail.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And a Luca key for Tybalt.
Well, that's 10 key items now. Also, that is a grind.
Mm-hmm. So, Luca key obviously gives us access to another key item, another boss. Bad part, unfortunately, the warp glitch isn't active in this flag set, so we couldn't have went and checked the item. But we're basically, this is kind of Knazo or bust at this point. And I'll just be quiet now.
Of the devil,
I'll just be quiet now. So about that Leviathan spot,
I've heard a commentator curses. I don't know what this is.
Yeah. No, I do not weigh as much as a duck. I just like to say that now, so please, no.
I mean, we might have to check for sure.
It meant nothing. So yes, Kainazo is not long for this world. This will be the last objective for Tybalt. That will give him the crystal.
But we're gonna have to see if he remembers to go look for that pass.
Right. That's, believe it or not, that is a flag that a lot of people might actually miss. Most people are used to the fact that the pass is an item, like a key item, and not just, hey, for sale in a shop somewhere.
Yeah, it's so rarely set that way.
So yeah, what could be going through Tybalt's mind right now is, okay, assuming he remembers, have I checked all the item shops for the pass? If he doesn't remember, where is the darkness crystal sitting?
Yeah,
there's not a lot of spots left. By the way, if Kainazo drops the darkness crystal, I'll just see myself out here really quick. So don't worry about that.
Oh yeah, we'll just get my cat on the bike if that happens. She'll take over for you.
Oh, and Tybalt takes a reset out of Kainazo. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but swapping to that Ice Thunder combo, so he's always hitting Kainazo's weakness. That'll do the trick for him.
Yep. Nothing more than berserk him and turn him loose.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, Chad brings up Remedy Lock. That's never a fun thing to see on Kainazo. If you can't do enough damage to outscale that remedy, that's not a fun time.
Yeah, it very much is not. And Point Rec does take that too, as expected. And the other thing to comment too, as the questions about the choice of spells being done by Fu, the other thing to remember is that the water coming from Kainazo the Wave is based on its hit points. So getting that nuke off is going to do a lot more damage than a Lit 1, and a Lit 3 is just far too slow. So you see how that nuke there, that basically did that cut the damage for the wave in half. So in a spot like this, if you're not taking someone to dedicatedly use Zeus rages or Thor rages, you want to nuke. You need to nuke to get that through.
Yeah, like Morpheus there was saying, this is a DPS race. If you look at the remedy of what Kainazo is doing, this spot has 20,000 HP. So those waves, the sooner you could get those lower in power, the better off your life's going to be in the fight. So. Yeah,
the only time you want to do things like Lit 1 or Thor Rage timings on the waves is if that's your only solution to get through the fight, because it just takes a lot longer, because you've got to match that timing very carefully. Because you need to do it after the attack goes off, but before it cues the wave, and you've got only a couple ticks where that's a valid strat.
Yep. All right,
And
there's our objectives.
crystal.
There's our crystal, and what's the item? I'm afraid. Oh,
Okay.
God.
Okay, our new commentator is going to be Chase the Cat.
Okay, so about that pass thing. This is... All right. Moving on.
And what do you think about this development, Chase?
I was going to say, so Tybalt needs levels now. So we have go mode at 1 hour and 20 minutes. Hooray!
And Poidrak is going in, gonna get that darkness crystal, and I'm just gonna sit here hoping that he doesn't get moonbaited on this, because the answer is gonna be behind that vanilla pad.
I think I may know what Tybalt's doing.
He's looking for the pass. He doesn't.
No. What was in the shop in the march? There were 2 items.
Oh my gosh.
There were Cure 3s and vampires in this shop.
Oh my gosh.
We may be seeing 1200 HP strats tonight.
He's going to the shop.
I was gonna say we have the agility to make that.
Got the vampires. He's got a stack of vampires and exited straight out.
Oh boy, do we get a treat tonight. This is gonna be fun.
Oh boy.
So since though I've thoroughly cursed the seed, would you like me to explain vampire strats and how this works?
Yes, please.
All right. So there are a couple different ways you can beat Zeramis. You know, usually, damage to the face tends to work very well. One of the strats that Zilch came up with, they call it 1200 HP strats. They're named after Zilch. And what was found was that a quote-unquote nerfed Big Bang at full power can only do 1200 HP of damage. So as long as you have characters that are above that threshold, this strat will work. The idea is that Z counters any spell cast on it with nuke. If you can control that via Star Veils and using vampires, which heal you and trigger a counter nuke the entire time, you can do your damage that way. Now, there is one small caveat to that. The way Z's script works is because things cannot have more than 65,000 HP in the game, they had to come up with a creative way to basically get past that. So what they came up with was at a certain threshold, which for Z I believe is 45,000 HP, the next direct attack at it will refill its HP. So the idea of this strat is going to be throw up Star Veils on people, start using vampires left and right, let it nuke itself till you get to about that 45,000 HP threshold, and then start using items that don't do damage and continue to let Z nuke itself into oblivion. That's basically the idea of the strat here. So with this many characters and multiple characters above 1200 HP, this should be straightforward.
And
look at, we have okay.
Poidrak is going to deal with Antlion.
Oh boy.
Come on, Poidrak. Go to the thing.
Oh, it's just an old man on the moon. Don't worry about that guy. He's fine.
His name is Floor because that's where he belongs.
It's an appropriate name.
Oh, this is his first time down here.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it's an antlion.
Not yet. I was gonna say, and knowing Poidrak, I figured he would buy 99 of each of those.
I mean, they're right there.
Yeah, and if the strat requires it, you don't want to come back. So
yeah, they're just too good, too important to leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he just...
and immediately, let me go find something else to do. Hold that thought.
Well, hopefully he goes to see Yang. Go see Yang, please. Go see Yang.
Usually,
don't go to the moon! Don't go to the moon!
I was saying, usually in fair defense for most runners of this game, usually that's about the knee-jerk reaction whenever you walk into that room in the march. It's like, true. Do I have exit? Zing, I'm gone.
Oh no, Poidrak is going to the moon!
Oh. There's our save, and Tybalt does the walk down to Z. We'll see how good Tybalt is at higher math tonight. Usually you don't buy 99 vampires. Usually you buy just an amount so that you don't have to count them.
Yeah.
And you get the HP kind of like in the wheelhouse of where you want it to be. So we'll see if he's paying attention on this one. But what's going on in the chat? What are all these Z flags? What is this?
I think I'm actually looking at my clock here. I think I think it's butt o'clock.
Is it butt o'clock?
It's butt o'clock.
What do we do with butts?
Well, of course, Zerobus is the one encounter that does not get randomized. It just really can't be in any reasonable way. So we randomize its sprite. So every time the seed comes to that special point where it is in fact butt o'clock, we have to ask ourselves, whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
Absolutely.
Poidrak, just leave. Go talk to Yang.
Some quick inventory maintenance on Tybalt's part. Get everything set up near the top.
Well, we have our first place finisher, X Pancrez, coming in first at 128.27.
GG to Pancrez. Well played.
Yeah, this has given us a run around, and yes, looks like Poidrak is leaving the moon after doing that quick character check.
Possibly looking for a foo, maybe? Maybe another one? Zemus! Wait a minute, I know that guy.
Wait, what?
I know this guy.
What game is this guy from?
Wait a minute. Hold on here.
I'm not sure I recognize this one.
Oh, that's so great. Scala, you're wonderful. French vanilla indeed. So yeah, for those watching, this is exactly how the fight's going to go. You're going to see Starveils, you're going to see Vampires, you're going to see Cure 3s, and you're going to see large amounts of pain happen.
Well, it looks like Poidrak is off to do a grind, gonna slingshot up a Pelib.
Yep. And it looks like we have our second place finisher, Antidale, coming in second with a time of 1:30.18. GG to Annadale.
And to clarify about the 1200, it's that 1200 is the maximum that a Nerf Big Bang is gonna do. It can do less. You know, characters can dodge or...
Right, and technically you only need one character to make this work, but more, it just speeds it up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to be super fast just because the animation time is very long, but it's faster than level it up.
Looks like Portrak is finishing his setup. Looks like we're gonna be finding some, or we're gonna go hunting eyeballs.
Mechanical eyeballs.
Alright. That have a need to call certain friends.
Oh, is that a first try pull?
That looks like the fight.
I was not counting his steps, so it could be one of the other ones, but he hasn't reset or escaped, so I'm thinking this is it.
Alright. Yeah, and for those of you that have watched races in the past, example, the 3-miss zone did not allow people to run from encounters. So there were manipulations that were found in order to guarantee yourself certain fights in here. The run flag is on in this flag set, so we don't have to do that. We can just go kind of peruse around Babel until we find a fight that matches up to the old charts. And lo and behold, once we kill off this last beamer and we bonk an eyeball, we're gonna see what comes out as a result.
Yeah, the sad thing here is I'm only counting 7 key items on Voidrak's side, and you know, I think we'd have 10 if we'd gone and seen Sheila.
Yep. Oh, it looks like Tybolt missed a Starveil there on Yang. Yeah, Yang took a nuke right to the face. Yang's having a bad day.
Yeah, this is not his day at all. But...
No. Yang, you should have stayed in bed.
Here's the other thing, too, from having that foo, is that we do have the nukes right there just for free. Which are rather more efficient than vampires.
Yep. Question from chat. Does Yang ever have a good day? Yes. Yes, I would say Yang does have a good day once in a while.
But not today.
No. I'll tell you what. How about a day where the pan is never found? And Yang can continue sleeping in bed. That would be a good day for Yang.
That sounds like a good day to me.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh no.
Oh, that's a wipe.
Oh, Tybolt.
These are tricky strats.
They are. They definitely take some practice. It's not one of those like, oh, I can do this, and then you go do it the first time.
Yeah, like
bad things can happen.
Timing is not as tight as pure like solo Eddie, but it's not trivial.
No.
And yeah, it looks like the nerf didn't go through, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, as chat probably noticed, those things at full power, they hurt a lot. So. Looks like Poidrak's got a great rotation here going on the D machines.
Yeah, and
punch the eyeball, weak dancing dagger, and the life potion, and wash, rinse, repeat. So very nice.
Yeah, this is one of those grinds. It feels really intimidating until you get the flow down, and once you know how to do it, and once you're able to do it, it really becomes pretty routine.
And it becomes very easy to just kind of zone out, and then you finish that last one, or what you think the last one is, and then you see the amount of XP you got, and you're like, oh, I overshot that by a bit. Oops.
Honestly, better to overshoot than undershoot, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to do this fight twice. So. All right, tie ball, take 2. I'm thinking after that first one, he's probably got a good feel for how this fight's gonna go now. I think he'll be all right this time around.
Yeah, like this is at this point becomes a rhythm thing.
Mm-hmm. I was saying I've already lost count on how many dragons Poydrak has done here.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't bother counting other people when I'm watching. I assume they know how many they need.
Yeah, and well, I mean, with a slingshot on the Quack Kid, I mean, it's not gonna take many to get where. And okay, not quite yet. Well, I guess while we're watching both of these, we can take a second and thank Alchemy and Solaris for pushing the buttons and doing the things in the background. They're the ones making the blinky tracker and this wonderful layout and everything operate as intended.
Yes, and thank you for Scala Kitty for managing the Twitter and hitting the chat buttons for us.
And I would like to apologize in advance for commentator's curse earlier. I will do my best never to have that happen ever again. So I'm still not a duck.
You say that, but you know, this evil witchery that we had going on.
Can I distract you with a hand-shaped cookie and Greek salad?
No.
No.
Oh, and Poydrak is done.
There we go. Let the levels cometh.
"46 levels on that Palom.
Yep, I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, the Rydia's only learned up to Quake, but that's Rydia for you.
Yep.
I don't know who decided that XP curve for her, but they need to go to jail.
It feels like, you know, the characters that take just, you know, a little bit extra, they always come with some type of, you know, handicap to them. It's like, you know, okay, so Cecil, you know, it's like, okay, great, you know, he's amazing, he does all tons of damage and everything, but, you know, in a vanilla flag set, he's the anchor, so that's your trade-off. Rydia, Sylph is obscenely broken. It just takes her a ton of XP to get up to nuke, so it's like, you know, everybody's got a little, you know, quirk to them.
Yeah, and then there's Rosa, who's just really good.
She's great. She's great.
Oh, Rosa.
So, looks like Tyball's got this down pretty well here. I've seen a lot of nuke, a lot of vampire, and not a lot of people dying. So I think we're there.
Yeah, this is much cleaner now.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you know, it's a learning thing. You know, you do these strats a couple times, and yeah, okay, then you got the hang of it, and life is good. But yeah, those first ones sometimes hurt. Oh, look, and we get to see who's sitting at Elements.
Right, because he hasn't found Rubicant yet.
No. So,
and he'd like to find a cane for the goal. And he doesn't know that Rubicant and Cane are together.
Both in one spot, yeah.
A spot that is free to access if you just visit Sheila. Visit Sheila.
I mean, the nice part is at least Mylan in this spot, not terrible.
Oh no, a lit one.
Yeah. See, I mean, it's a lot of HP. 65,000 HP is nothing to sneeze at, so it'll take a minute, but nah.
Yeah. Oh, 6 hit point, lit 1. Oh no.
All right, looks like we have shifted off the threshold, so you'll notice Tybalt is no longer using vampires. So we don't want to do any direct damage to Zemus at this point, so we will be using items that don't do any damage to finish this.
Yeah, or bouncing.
I would say, we're in the case of a certain old man, bouncing things off walls works very well too.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, he missed the nerf! Oh, Tybalt! Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, because you still gotta use a direct something.
Yeah. Yeah, while it's great to you got a foo, you can bounce nuke and do, but it's when you see that vibrate, you gotta get something.
Toss your twos even, I think that'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause it emulates a spell.
Yeah, like that. So that's painful. We'll see. That's right. If we all waxed poetic about times we've lost runs to things like, let's see, how about a Meteo immediately followed by a Big Bang? Like, yeah, no, we've been there, we've done that, we've seen the worst that the game's had to offer.
Yeah.
So.
And we've got our third place finisher coming in at 143.59. We've got a Stone Dingley.
Congratulations to Dingley, GG.
Oh, Anthony saying the Cure 2 would hit the refill because it would mess with the hit points. So yeah, like if he doesn't have anything else, use the crystal to trigger the to trigger a nerf.
Yep.
But look at these finishing times, just showing what a brutal seed this is. Oh, and that's an Octomam, and this is a very nasty physical spot. It is another one.
Yeah. The problem
it's very high.
It's got speed too, so the issue is you can't get Octomam gets slower the more times you take a swing at it, but you have to get like those first 3 hits off to slow it down enough to where it doesn't just decide to just keep bopping you. So sometimes getting those 3 hits, not the easiest task in the world.
Yeah, I guess this is a mean spot for any physical boss. And yeah, it is, because when I was mentioning the top physical ones, I completely forgot CPU. CPU, King of the Monsters, and Wyvern. But this one does not have many hit points, and we're through on that.
Yeah, 25,000 doesn't stand up when Yang is punching for 6 at a time. That'll be short-lived.
Yes, he's a very strong punch man.
So, oh hey, look who's up. Where were you earlier when we found the crystal sword?
Just take your sword and go.
Right. Not even giving you a choice. It's like, do you want to come? No, you just go. Go.
And he is leaving the whale, so come on. Go to self. Go to self. Go to underground. Go to self.
Got the levels. We know what's coming.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
There's a certain thing at Leviathan right now that's about to have a bad day. It's okay. It'll get its swings in. And it'll hurt.
And then it'll die.
It will die. I mean, I guess the good news is, based on the items we've seen, there's not exactly anything this could drop short of maybe a twin harp to like do a rabbit hole chase, because every other item doesn't exactly lead to anything.
That's true.
So, of course, now saying that, it's gonna drop the twin harp. What? That's a good point. Guest package. Yeah, because D.Mist is still floating out there.
And the package is, well, the Mist Dragon doesn't have anything because it's a free key item seed. But,
oh, that's right. Yes.
The package does have a character check.
Oh, it does have a boss too, so Ruby could be in the package, even though we know that's not the case.
Yeah, either way, if he gets this, all he needs is a cane, so if there is a dupe cane package, that would be very good.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's an angry antlion.
An angry... antlion.
It may not be Monday, but the antlion is treating people like it is.
Honestly, what I think this is going on here is the antlion heard that in Legacy people have been gutting for it, so now it's out for revenge.
It's a great spot to get revenge. It left its mark. Oh, it did.
That's gonna hurt.
Oh, for crying out. Okay, look. I did not roll the seed. I did not play the seed prior. The seed's only made 10 minutes prior to the run. Okay, I'm just letting you all know this.
It's just that you're a witch, that's all.
Hi.
You have no defense. You're a witch. So package here then?
No. This dark elf, not that.
Maybe a spoon.
I was more going with something a little more worthless in the scheme of things.
What a Boreas.
That is possible.
It's in the pool. I've seen it.
I like Asuka's idea. Drain Spear. I'm okay with this.
Everybody does love the Drain Spear. That deep breath hurting because it is hit point based.
With this team, though, I feel like it's not long for this world.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna last.
Yeah.
Another big bang coming on Tybalt's side.
Yep. And
It's good.
Right.
Oh, it's a spoon!
There we go.
Spoon! Heavy just the next day. Now go to Sylph. Go to Sylph.
I mean, the good news, at least Poydrak does not have a lot of checks left. So
He's going to Sylph, good.
It's going to lead, yeah. So.
And he is going to be playing 4 character checks, because so he will take the Earth. So I don't think he's going to go to Twin Harp first.
Based on the time of checks and usually the order you do them in, no, usually you do Earth first and then you do Twin Harp, because Twin Harp you do Twin. You actually reverse that. You do Twin Harp first because it puts you back.
Yeah, because Twin Harp into Earth is usual, but if you're looking for bosses and a character,
then you're
Zot got 2 bosses and 2 characters, so I don't see going to
no.
I don't see going to Twin Harp here.
Nope. Oh, there's a flash.
And
there it is.
4th place for Tybalt, coming in at 153.02.
GG's to Tybalt. Congratulations. Maybe see if we can get him in here for an interview.
Yeah, we'll see about getting him over in here.
Meantime, looks like Poydrak went and took a little visit to Sheila.
Good, good. And we're now joined by Tybalt, 4th place finisher here. GG.
GG.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
and we're now joined by Tybalt.
Nerfing those big bangs, huh?
Yeah, you know, I thought I was counting correctly for the first time, but apparently didn't get the refill skill.
Yeah, well, it's a little... Well, you know, we talked about it's not the easiest strat to pull. I know a lot of us are used to doing that with, less characters.
Yeah.
So manipulating 5 and doing that, sometimes it plays havoc with you. So
fewer amounts of vampires, just having a full stack.
I may have made a joke about whether you were keeping track of math or not.
I was trying to be completely honest. I was. I know it's somewhere in the range of 46,000 is what you have to do before you want to. It's like 40,000 you want to do with vampires before you start over to Crystal.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think of the seed overall, though? Party composition.
To be completely honest, my happiest mistake was grabbing the Cid. I didn't actually need to grab him.
Very useful. One thing you may regret, Dwarf Castle. You probably were completely excited that you saw that cursed ring for free. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
You never checked the item shop.
Yeah, I know. There's only 3 shops I didn't check, and that was Troya and Dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Might have saved you a little time. Oh, when we saw Poydrak, when he went to Dwarf, he checked the item shop, and we saw that. It's like, I wonder if that's going to come back to bite Tibble in the
It
end.
did.
I wonder. So
You know, when I saw Kenazo there, I'm like, cool, sweet. I'm gonna take out Kenazo, and I'm gonna go take on the ant lion, and it'll be good. And it's like, wait, 4 objectives required? Okay.
I figured a lot of people would fade that 5th one once they saw what was sitting there. Like, let me go peep around, and fortunately for you, Earth Crystal just paid off completely. Above average. Go ahead.
No, so I knew I was looking for still Kane at the time, and Zot is 2 character checks. I had Baron keys, so I figured if I'm gonna heal up, I might as well heal up, do all of Zot, do 2 boss checks, 2 character checks, and roll right into Baron. Since I get a full heal right after anyways.
Yeah, and it turned out so well for you. So
yeah, that just played out so smoothly. And I mean, I noticed how you named that Kane. And I noticed where he was.
I thought that was beautiful that it ended up being a vanilla Kane.
Yeah,
we also heard you notice what you named Ed too. Yeah, I saw that one.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to reset out a Kenazo the first time since Yang didn't have an Ice Claw on, and I knew it was just going to be a repetitive.
Yeah, that recover lock is brutal if you land in that.
Yeah, Yang was only going to do 500, and Kenazo was healing for 2k, so it's like, well, at least I know I can take the fight.
Right.
Yeah, and once you had that set up, that was very smooth.
Probably was very happy it dropped darkness too. I bet you were not looking forward to hunting that. Matter of fact, so that raises the question: did you remember that you hadn't checked certain item shops for the pass? Was that going to be your next idea?
No, I hadn't thought about it. I thought maybe Feymarch had the Darkness Crystal, and if Feymarch had the Darkness Crystal, then the pass could be on the moon, which is why I checked and it wasn't there. And I'm like, do I really take the time to check the last 3 shops?
Yeah, that's something we talked about. Was like, did Typo remember that it's not in a chest and that's in a shop? I hope he did, because I
actually brought up the flags during, like, is it in a shop? I can't remember.
Well, once again, congratulations on the run. It was a very well played run.
Well, thank you. And did Poydrak do music, or is that still?
No, music has not been a thing.
Yes, if you want to run over there, that would be really cool.
Yeah, by all means.
I could definitely do that here.
A man of the people.
Of course.
So.
Let me get out to a say that's actually on the near closer.
There you go. And in the meantime, we do have a 5th place finisher. J-Brun finishes with a time of 1:54.51. So GG's to J-Brun.
And Poydrak is about to get his number 2 and number 4 objectives complete.
Well, as I work on getting over to music, thanks everybody for the restream and the commentary. We couldn't do this without you. Martin and Neon and Solaris with the restream. I know there was issues, but those tend to happen, and glad we were able to figure everything out.
Yep,
and
everything worked out in the end.
And thank you for
tracking.
Yeah.
And thanks for putting on a show, Tybalt. I appreciate it.
No problem.
GG's once again. Boy, that was a really short Ruby fight, wasn't it? I blinked. I think a leg was there. A leg is now gone.
Yeah, we saw some leg.
We did. This has been a fantastic seed. I think this has given us a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we saw some leg.
We did. This has been a fantastic seed. So congratulations, Poydrak now has a crystal and has a pass. Not gonna have to do the walk.
And we have Tibble going over to music, and we have...
Oh, we have good stuff. That's what we have.
Not gonna have to do the walk.
And it looks like Poindrak's going to give us music anyway. I love it.
True. Another man
love it.
today.
What's better than a little bit of Kefka music? A lot more of Kefka music. That's great.
Get this in stereo.
Absolutely. So yeah, while Poindrak's headed down there, so obviously, you know, the Sunday Slapdash, and well, it's Sunday. What else do we have the rest of the week?
All right, let me pull up.
I was gonna say this isn't the only game in town. There's a lot more that happens on this channel.
Yeah, we've got our community race coming up tomorrow, but let's get... All right, we've got... We've got our community race tomorrow. That's Monday. Then on... That is tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern. Then on the 10th, we are also going to be restreaming the Ludo Racing Club. That is going to be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Free Enterprise on Thursday. That is going to be Friday. We have the weekly race, the community race. That's going to be at 10 o'clock Eastern on Randomania. And then we have the Saturday, the Enterprise Legacy race. That will be 8:30 Eastern, again on Free Enterprise.
Excellent.
Let's look at tomorrow's flags. Those are Jump for Your Love. So let's see what that suggests.
We also have a small announcement. Edward is out of bed.
Hooray!
And playing music.
Tomorrow we need to get Rosa, cure the fever with a Sand Ruby Duzot. Starting with Cecil. And is this jumping? Come on. And it is a push B to jump. Good times.
I'd just like to say, if you haven't experienced push B to jump before, you should come watch it. It's an event.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing. Like, it was an April Fool's Day flag, but it is just so much fun that people actually race it now.
And we have Poindrak dancing to the music right now.
He's dancing mad about not going to Silk sooner.
This is what makes this community great. Is yes, you know, we're racing. Yes, it's for fun, but yes, we can do this as well. This is what makes it wonderful. So, if you were ever looking at possibly joining the community, trying one of these out yourself, they're such amazing, wonderful people in here, and all willing to help. And
yeah, and you know, our races are good for all sorts of skill sets. And two, you know, if you're shy about streaming, we've got our seeds of the week. You can just do those quietly on your own and then just post your time. Nobody has to watch. Nobody has to know that you get a sandwich in the middle of your seed.
Just as long as it's not like a hand cookie with... Yeah, anyways.
No!
Where was I again? Whoops.
Or being burned at the stake as a witch.
That trick is only good once a day. So that's my use for the day right there. We do have a 6th place finisher, though. Dragus has come in 6th place with a time of 2:02:53. So GG's to Dragus.
Yes, GG. It looks like Poidrak is going to just reset out of that lovely song and head in to fight Zerobus, which should be a much heftier firepower fight than Tibbles.
Yeah, we're gonna see things bounced off walls, but this time it's gonna be of our own creation this time around.
Yes. And probably some punching on him too.
So quick little shortcut, quick little teleport, quick little walk, and
now Poidrak. It is but o'clock for Poidrak at last. Got a 7th place finisher. Coming in 7th, we've got Microcode 20721.
GG's to Micro. I wonder if Z is ever terrified. When, you know, we finally see the true form of Zeramus. He ever just looks at the party and is like, oh, this is gonna hurt.
I feel like
oh, there's all these mages and they all have nuke and white and
oh no, it's a lunatic that's afraid of wine. Alright.
Now,
they're giving the children wine.
I'd just like to say on the flip side, do you think Zeramus giggles when he sees Ed standing in front of him?
Only for as long as he can see Eddie, and then Eddie hides, and he's like, oh.
I'm supposed to take a bard seriously? Wait a minute, what?
Wait, where did he go?
Here comes the bouncing of the spells. So yes, bouncing all the spells obviously doesn't trigger the refill, so 61,000 HP of this, and Seamus is gonna go take a nap.
Yeah, though too, I mean, it would also be perfectly safe just to ram through the full hit point goal.
Yeah, but this party...
It looks like Yang is on Alchemist duty, so we're probably just gonna go for the skip here.
Yep. Chat brings up a point about 10 minutes later, like, wait a minute, this threat's actually working? Uh-oh. Yes,
keeps going, wait, I got this, I'm gonna cast a nuke now!
Yeah, nope.
And then it gets back and reflects on it and was like, oh, crud. I'll try to get all nuke now!
Yep.
Crud.
Yep, and I won't spoil it for everyone, but I will say if you haven't seen Eddie strats in all their glory, watch enough of this, you'll see them. Sooner or later, they'll come across, and you'll be like, wow, that's amazing.
I was on the mic like the very first time they got deployed in a race, and it was jaws hitting the floor.
Yep. that was a horrible nuke by Food. 3,000 damage, somehow still finishes off Z.
That's what happens when you take everything off of Foo and just give him your base will. He has none.
By Foo. He's the devil himself. Hi!
I guess you're ready for an interview.
No, I'm not. I'm just sitting in here because I've been here for the entire time. You just haven't seen me.
Oh, I see how it is. Well, I'd like to thank you in advance for not calling me a witch like the rest of the chat then. I appreciate it. I couldn't let everyone think I was good at this game and just go in all the correct places it is. So I had to put myself at a disadvantage. Listen to you and go into all the incorrect places. You know, the race was actually a lot closer than it appeared. Until the Sylph Cave and Sheila 1 check, you and Tybalt were side by side.
Yeah.
So, and then just different decision making, and I mean, that's free enterprise. That's how it works.
It's just, I made a lot of wrong decisions. I say wrong decisions, then I didn't have any idea where I was really going. But it's Sheila. My usual path is usually clear everything that I can before going to do Sheila at the moment, and because I'm if I'm going to find a pan, brilliant. If not, it's a very long one-shot check. It's just today, back into the pan, back into Earth Crystal, back into both of the required things that you needed to finish up.
Yeah, Earth Crystal paid off in spades today.
Yeah.
So, and it did not go without noticing how fast you ran once you saw what was sitting in Leviathan. It was, do I have an exit? Can I get out of here? Yes, I can.
Yeah, no.
I was considering it. It's just, I knew I really didn't have the damage to finish that off, especially without Yang having Power Punch to evade the counters. I might have been able to get it through with Bahamut and potentially a aim, but it really wasn't a good idea if I went in there on that, especially since I did have Fu on the team. It just wasn't going to be pretty. So I thought, let's go and get my levels first, check the person on the moon, see if that's Kane, and I was actually going to pick up whoever it was if it wasn't Teller, and just go and do my grind. If it was Cecil, I've got a Crystal Sword Adamant, and if it's Kane, I've got White Spear. Crystal Sword Avenger. If it's Kane, I've got White Spear Avenger. Both of them being Slingshot to High Heck would have been amazing. Just have to be Teller, so I had to go back down, pick up Palom, which was my third option, because he can get through Antlion easily, and then just go with the rest of the seed after that.
Yeah, how happy were you when you found the Bahamut summon? That's actually one of the things that you and Tybalt kind of deviated on. Tybalt actually went through the Ruby spot, went in with a base level Palom for agility reasons, and basically turned Rosa into just a murder machine. And then you tripped on Bahamut, and you could not race fast enough back to Mysidia to grab that Radia.
No. Having seen Palom, Palom really doesn't give you a whole lot, at least for me, in my opinion, doesn't give you a whole lot in that particular situation, especially with Karate and then whoever the unknown boss was. It's even with, and he doesn't give a whole lot with Plague, really. So seeing that Bahamut, I was just going for levels, see what I get. Seeing that Bahamut already had ready, straight up, go get her. She pretty much took over from there with Rosa doing the backup, Yang just sitting around and helping out where he could as well.
Of course, there was one other thing too in that tower on the way down, that you just completely walked by a chest with a Stardust rod in it.
Don't care about that. If you got nuke, you don't really care about it. Is that on the lower babble where you fall down?
Oh no! This was when you were on your way to fight Plague and everything. You passed on the ogre chest.
Oh.
The next floor, that chest over in that square off to the right. You skipped that one, but then you picked up the Aegis shield on the next floor. That one you skipped had the Stardust Rod in it.
Yeah. Well, Stardust Rod is fine, but between the Lilith and the Dancing Dagger, which I was sort of interchanging the uses for, a Stardust Rod wouldn't really have affected too much, to be perfectly honest. The Lilith gave me the wisdom that I needed for Bahamut Summon, and the Dancing Dagger gave me the damage I needed to pretty much drop Yang for Plague. So, yeah, Stardust, although good, isn't the be-all end all. The Lilith Rod was perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, no, just a big nice to have is what it is.
Yeah. But in the end, this Sunday Slapdash, as this is, gives up a whole load of variants, and sometimes you get some easy flags, and sometimes you get whatever this was for the underground.
This was a scene that happened. I'm not sorry that I didn't have to run it today.
No,
I was like, I should get up on time to actually run this, and I got told for be on the mic. I see the flag, but it's like, oh, I'm glad I'm not running this.
Yep.
Yeah, this is essentially my thing, and I say to myself, I have to run it every week, unless I happen to be common, which I did once. But I run it every week. I suffer along with everyone else if it's a bad seed. I celebrate if it's a good seed. I always run it because, in the end, there's a lot of skills that you see in Sunday Slapdash that you won't see in a lot of other races, such because you don't know what the interactions between flags are until they suddenly appear in front of you, and you go, "How am I meant to deal with this?"
Exactly.
It's magical, and even just seeing something as simple as how you played off those vanilla treasure chests trap chests right at the start for that Eblan raid. Like that was really nice. Just knowing the little bits and working your way around things, and then just taking advantage of the things that you can get through. I needed a little bit of extra to go through the underground. I'm sure a lot of other people did as well. And then just go from there, and just the seed will get easier as time goes by if you usually because you're building up, but sometimes the early game is just what do I do, and that's where Sunday Slapdash sort of shines. The early game is like, where am I going, what am I doing, what am I up against?
But you know what, you navigated it really well, so
and that's what I want with Sunday Slapdash. I want people to think. I want people to look at the flags. There's no discussing them beforehand. It's only after. Go with your own knowledge in. Do your best. If you learn something, I've done my job.
Yep, there you go. So once again, GG on the run. It was impressive to watch.
Yeah, it really was a good show. Just seeing how you did handle the options available, and I think the thing about Slapdash is, unlike every other flag set, is they're all designed by a person who is actually thinking about how it's going to play, and this is just like
yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna head out. It's time for me to get some sleep, but enjoy your evening, everyone, and have a good one.
All right, thanks again, Poidrac.
Hi.
Well, that was a race.
Yeah,
that was the thing. So, and speaking of races, it looks like we know where we're going tonight. Looks like we're going to go raid Commander Leonhard, who is still racing this flag, so please, no spoilers or anything when we head over there.
Yeah, don't say a word about anything, everybody, because he's still racing.
Yep.
And,
So we'll see where
let's
he's
all
at.
wish him luck.
Yeah, please wish him the best of luck. This this seed, it throws some things at you, so
It is rough.
yeah. Well, Neon, thank you. This was fun.
Yeah, and thank you also, and thank you to everybody working, Solaris and Alchemy and Skull Kitty and everybody. Give everybody a follow.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will see you all next time for the Sunday Slapdash. Hopefully it was entertaining, and we'll see you back.